Hey guys, welcome to week 8 lesson 3, the last lesson for online learning. So we're doing a bit more experimental probability, and so from this one we need to be able to calculate the relative frequency. So that's, the expected amount of times it's going to come up, or the relative frequency, also the actual results of it. So if we go, think back to our red ball example, it was 0.25. So, 25 out of 100. Okay, so just a quick remember. Experimental probability, which is also known as relative frequency, is the number of times the outcome occurs over or divided by the total number of trials in the experiment. So, let's have a look at an example. So, we've got, for the chance experiment of rolling a die, so like a 6-sided dice, the following outcomes were noted. So the outcome of rolling a 1 happened 3 times. The outcome of rolling a 2 happened once. Outcome of rolling a 3 happened 4 times. Outcome of rolling a 4 was 6, 5, 3, and 6, 3. So just remember, when we think of a dice, on a 6-sided dice, you would think you have a 1 in 6 chance of getting each of these. What this shows is it's not really the reality. So what we've got to do here for a start is go, how many trials were there all up? Okay, so we simply add up these numbers down here. Okay, so we go 3 plus 1 plus 4 plus 6 plus 3 plus 3. And there were 20 trials. Okay, so they rolled the dice 20 times. So now we have a bit of a number to work with, which is good. So how many 3s were rolled? So we simply look up here. Look at our frequency. 3 was rolled 4 times. Okay. So then we go on to our next part. So we've got what was the relative frequency for each number written as decimals. Okay, so they want it in decimal form, not fraction form. So what we've got to do is, we know we had 20 trials. So we need to remember that number because that's going to help us. Alright, so here we look and we go, okay, it happened 3 times out of 20. If you were to put that in a calculator, 3 divided by 20, that is 0.15. Okay, we keep going. So then we go 1 out of 20, which is 0.05. 4 out of 20, which is 0.2. 6 out of 20 is 0.3. 3 out of 20. And the cheat thing is, if we look up here, we've already done it. Okay, so now we've done the relative frequency. So we literally just found how many times it actually came up, the probability. Okay, so now the last thing it wants us to do is find the sum of the relative frequencies. The reason they did this is to make sure we've done it right. Alright, if we've done it right, each of these should all add to 1 and no more or less. It has to be 1 exactly. So you go 0.15 plus 0.05 . Okay, so we add them all up and guess what? It equals 1. So that is a really good way to make sure you've done it correctly, is if it equals 1 at the end, then you, or the number of trials, you have done it perfectly correctly. And that is it.